So I'm going to try to stay angry here so that I don't get overly upset. But I'm going to give you guys another update on the Minneapolis, which is now it's now a school shooting. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that the shooter is dead. Self-inflicted, which is big effing surprise, right? The next thing I'm going to tell you is that this was at an all-school mass and that there were community members that were there, probably some parents as well. So the whole school was there when this happened. The mass started at 8:15 and the shooting happened around 8:30 a.m. We know that over a dozen kids, or people I should say, mostly kids, have been transported to the hospital. When I say mostly kids, I mean kids under the age of 13. We also know that there are at least 2 dead inside the church. Now, we don't know the ages of those or who those people are. We don't know the condition of the victims that have been transported to the hospital. We know that they are in the process of setting up a reunification center for all of this. But I'm watching like this happen and watching this unfold on TV, and these parents are coming out. And, I have a 6-year-old child, and they're carrying their kindergartners in their little uniforms who just experienced this horrific thing, right? And I don't know how as a society we live like this. And whenever I make a video like this, people go, oh, I don't know what the world's coming to. No, it's not the fucking world. It's America. It is only our country that deals with this on a daily fucking basis. And here's the thing. I own firearms, so I'm not sitting here preaching anti-2A. But what I am saying is that, I'm going to say this to our current administration, while we're spending a whole lot of money to put people, federalize them, make ICE agents, there's about 115 total schools in this country, private and public combined. Maybe we should hire some federal agents, use active reserves, activate some reservists, National Guard, maybe have them rotate out and stand at these schools every day if we're not going to do anything else about it, right? Over 20 victims at an elementary school. I'll be back with more updates.
Americans truly have no idea how much of their money the United States has given to Israel since October 7th, and it's because the Biden administration has concealed that information by hiding weapon shipments and transfers of money to Israel, and this is a huge problem, and it's also why you won't find any reporting on total US aid to Israel in 2024, besides from me, because it seems like nobody else wants to even look at it. I'm going to quickly run you through the total that I think it is, and we'll see what's missing after that. So as a baseline, the United States gives Israel $3.5 billion a year, no matter what. So we have that, and then Biden signed a $26 billion deal in this spring. For the summer, we gave Israel $3 billion worth of our fighter jets, and then we added $8.7 billion onto that $3.5 billion baseline. And I think that's going to stick till next year at least. I think our total is $41.2 billion. And that's not even counting the 3.5 we sent in 2023, which I think came at the end of the year. That number is ridiculous, and to put it in perspective, that's almost $250 per American taxpayer. And by the way, we're still missing parts of that number because the Biden administration decided last October to start breaking down their weapon shipments to Israel to the point where they were just small enough so they didn't have to report them to Congress, and so they didn't have to report them to anybody outside our government. And so nobody freaking knows how much we gave to Israel. You know, that number could be anything. I know a lot of journalists watch my content, and so if you see this, I encourage you, make a story about this. Talk about the U.S. total aid to Israel in 2024, how ridiculous it is. Report on the number. People need to know this. Anyways, if you want to support me, continue to make videos like this, and go to college, there's a link in my bio where you can help me out, as well as ways to help Palestinians in Gaza. Thank you, and free Palestine.
Welcome back again to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So guys, we are just going to be checking out this video compilation which I was able to gather from my FYP. So you feel free to watch them and share your thoughts. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section. Oh my god, like who are really those people that started shooting in the school? I mean, like, why are they shooting in the school? Because these are kids, these are underage. Like, my condolence goes to all affected kids. Yeah. So guys, you watch this video and let me know what you think about it in the comment section.
Trump said again today that people would rather have him as a dictator than have a free society. Yesterday, he mocked people who want to keep their American freedom and then said that a lot of people are saying maybe they want a dictator. With it really seeming like Trump keeps saying this out loud in hopes of normalizing it to the point that people will just accept it. Trump also appears to have started to cover DC in posters of himself. You also had his agriculture secretary saying today that America is in the midst of a new revolution that Trump himself is leading, saying it's like 1776. And this comes as Trump continues to say that he will deploy the military to Chicago, then to New York, Philadelphia, and Boston in addition to LA and DC. And this is, you've got a new poll showing that only 38% of Americans agree with using military to do law enforcement in DC, and notably, back in June, only 41% of Americans approved of this in LA. So seemingly a majority of the country is not on board and extremely mad about this, and according to the polls, even more people are getting mad about it the longer it goes on, and they haven't even gotten to Chicago or New York yet. With this then also creating a national conversation of, well, okay, well, what rights do you have left to resist an emerging dictatorship and what the founding fathers said should be done? With people, for example, pointing to Federalist 28, where Alexander Hamilton argued to the American public that the Constitution protects against dictators because it grants the people the natural right of armed resistance to ensure tyranny can never take hold. And all of this is, you had Stephen Miller saying last night that the Democratic Party is a domestic terrorist organization. You know, totally normal things to say when you're sending the military to occupy their cities. With some saying what Miller and others in the Trump administration are trying to do is to manufacture consent to arrest Democrats. And finally, this is the least important thing, but I just gotta say this. This guy's Stephen Miller. His wife said on our podcast that all he eats is mayonnaise. And when asked with fries or like period, she said period. But anyway, follow to stay in the loop.
We have some news right now. I'm here at the Department of Labor, and if you see right there, there's a giant poster of Donald Trump right now on the side of the Department of Labor building. It says, workers first, 250 years, referring to the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And right beside it, American flag, and then Teddy Roosevelt, comparing Donald Trump to Teddy Roosevelt. Now, a couple of things. It's funny, actually, the Donald Trump poster, the bottom strands ripped off, and so it's about to fall potentially. But if you are driving down the streets of DC, you now have posters of the President of the United States, giant posters showing that he is pro-worker, supports laborers in advance of Labor Day, which is on Monday. There are people coming up and trying to take pictures with it and stuff. This is on the side of the Department of Labor building. It is covering a number of office windows as well, so I'm curious to see if it's actually impacted anyone's views who actually works at the Department of Labor. But anyways, this is what DC is like these days. I want to show you. So spread the word, and as always, follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. I will have much more to come very soon.
Donald Trump, the president of these United States, wants to be a dictator. He is trying to be a dictator. He said it multiple times this week. Today, he explained why a lot of people, I think in his own head, think he should be a dictator because he's stopping all the crimes.
So the line is that I'm a dictator, but I stop crime. So a lot of people say, you know, if that's the case, I'd rather have a dictator. But I'm not a dictator. I just know how to stop crime.
Ah, yes, Donald Trump, tough on crime. It just depends on who's doing the crime, doesn't it? Beyond all his administration's lies and the mobilization of federal law enforcement in Los Angeles and Washington and members of the U.S. military, Donald Trump is the most unabashedly pro-criminal, pro-crime president of my lifetime. In fact, I started compiling this list of all the people that Donald Trump has pardoned or come to the aid of just since taking office in January, and it is mind-boggling. On his first day in office, Donald Trump pardoned every last one of the January 6th insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol and attempted a coup against the U.S. government on his behalf. Roughly 1,500 convicted or suspected accused criminals. They included hundreds who were handed lengthy sentences for very serious felonies, such as assaulting police with deadly weapons. Many of those rioters have had, maybe you won't be shocked to hear this, serious brushes with the law since they were pardoned. Andrew Tate is one example. He used a metal whip and bear spray to assault police officers at the Capitol. He was sentenced to 6 years after bragging about these crimes to a woman on a dating app. 2 weeks after being pardoned by Trump and freed from prison, he was arrested in Texas for soliciting a minor for sex. Then on the second day of his presidency, Donald Trump pardoned Ross Ulbricht, founder of the Silk Road and online black market for drug dealing. The guy took hundreds of millions in commissions on sales of methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, and other opioids. I mean, you could make a case he was the biggest drug dealer in American history. He was serving 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole when Donald Trump pardoned him unconditionally. On his third day in office, Trump pardoned Washington, D.C. police officer Tara Sutton and Lieutenant Andrew Zabowski. Sutton illegally chased a 20-year-old man on a moped for 10 blocks. He struck another car and died in the crash. The 2 officers then tried to cover up their role in his death. They were sentenced to hard time for obstructing justice. Trump pardoned them, falsely claiming the motorist they had killed was illegal. They have since been reinstated to the D.C. police force. Trump also pardoned former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich, convicted on 17 counts of corruption, including an attempt that we all remember and all heard to sell off Barack Obama's former Senate seat. Trump pardoned him using the former Democrat's criminal case as a way to discount the myriad investigations, indictments, and convictions that he faced. He pardoned Brian Kelsey, a Republican former Tennessee state senator, a guy that was 2 weeks into a 21-month sentence for a campaign finance fraud when Trump pardoned him. He illegally funneled nearly $100,000 into a failed congressional campaign. In May, Trump pardoned Todd and Julie Chrisley, TV reality stars who were serving federal prison sentences for wire and bank fraud. The lavish lifestyle they flaunted on air was apparently bankrolled by fraudulent bank loans the couple hid from tax authorities. They were two of nearly 24 convicted fraudsters, thieves, and drug dealers Trump pardoned in May. Again, this is way beyond the pace of any president in my lifetime. He also pardoned Trevor Milton. He was the founder of an electric truck company. He was sentenced to federal prison for exaggerating the company's technology, up to and including a fake commercial in which they pushed an immobile model of the truck down a hill to make it look like it could really drive fast. The truck didn't actually work. Milton went to jail for it because he defrauded people. Last year, he donated $1.8 million to Donald Trump's campaign, and Trump pardoned him in March. Thanks to that pardon, Milton will not need to compensate his shareholders who lost millions. Now, that is just a partial list of Trump's pardons and commutations since he took office 7 months ago. It's a wild list. It's unlike any list I've ever seen or ever covered.
Guys, did you guys think that Trump is a dictator? Because I have been seeing a lot of videos saying that Trump is a dictator, and do you guys think so? If he's a dictator or if he's trying in any way to be a dictator, please let me know in the comment section, okay? Because like most of you guys that voted for Trump should have known about this. Yeah, you guys were supposed to know if he's a dictator or a kind of person who tries to be a dictator before voting for him, because even a lot of people, including those that even voted for him, are calling him a dictatorship. So what do you guys think? I'm going to be under the comment section waiting for you. Oh, please don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel in case you have not subscribed already. So you stay tuned guys, and see you all in my next episode. Bye.